huge debate topic in recent times here at Centralia has been whether or not students should be allowed to use their personal devices during school hours. This has come following the recent statewide ban with the law and stuff regarding the phones, stating that they cannot be used during school hours, even during passing times and lunch breaks. While administrators seem to usually take the negative for this, saying that students work better without the distractions, they pay more attention during their classes and stuff, but a lot of students, myself included, would like to say otherwise. Phones and personal devices should be accessible to students in the Centralia R6 district because they offer security, they give students more educational resources, and they allow for more social opportunities. One of the more important reasons that students should be allowed access to their phones is that by doing so, they feel a greater sense of security. According to Dr. Benjamin Washington in his 2025 article, Cell Phones in the Classroom, Should It Be Allowed?, published on the Graduate Programs for Educators website, having cell phones accessible in the classroom offers a real sense of security. In the event of an emergency, whether it's a medical issue or something more serious, students can quickly reach out for help. Plus, it opens up a direct line of communication between students and their parents. This shows just a few security reasons a student may need a phone on them during the school day. Just about everyone can relate to that feeling of seemingly being stranded at school. Maybe you're sick, maybe you're just not feeling good, and some of you may have wished that you could just contact your parent maybe to come get you so that you're not suffering during your school day, Or in a more extreme scenario, what if the school faces a crisis? Students should have a direct line of communication with those that take care of them in these situations. Adding on to that, teachers should have the ability to focus more on getting their students into safe places than having to focus on whether they have their phone out in view or not. Another reason students should be allowed to have their phones during school day is that personal devices offer more educational resources. According to Sarah Nelson in her 2024 article, The Debate Over Cell Phone Use in Schools, Pros and Cons, published by the Central Rivers AEA on their website, it states that one of the biggest benefits of cell phones is their ability to give students access to educational resources. With just a few taps, students can research topics, use learning apps, or watch instructional videos. As this quote states, having a personal device allows students to easily access resources that may be blocked on a school-issued device. As a student myself, obviously, I have dealt with this issue more times than I can count. Having a personal device eliminated this issue in past years when we would have this issue in class. But now we have to wait for administrators to specifically unblock certain sites that we may be wanting to access. We all know how inconvenient that can really be. The last point I would like to make here is that personal devices offer students more social interaction with opportunities. According to Sam D. Flitch in her article, How Do Cell Phones Affect Students in School?, published by Panorama Education on their website in 2025, mobile devices enable students to maintain important academic and social connections through group chats, collaboration tools, and virtual study groups. This quote says that these social opportunities can also come in forms that aren't harmful to productivity. Having access to a group that you can speak about to assignments and directly collaborate with them allows for you to have it gives you the completely necessary skills to allow yourself to develop as a student. I remember my own experiences with this. Before the law was enacted, I was always making group chats or direct messages with people that I would need to collaborate with for assignments, and it always ended with better scores in the end. So there are several different counter arguments that can be used against this. A lot of people that are against the idea of personal devices in schools and stuff say that this would only be a distraction to students. And I can't say this isn't true, obviously. Phones are distracting, they're right there. When you're sitting there, you have your phone on your desk, you want to check it. It buzzes, you're going to check it. But it's important to note that phones and personal devices are only harmful if they're misused. With clear guidelines and teacher supervision, phones can be more of a benefit than a detriment. Another thing is that having access to personal devices in school settings can lead to cyberbullying, and that is one of the biggest counter arguments I've heard. Not only would it affect the person using the phone, but it would also affect the person that they might be bullying or harassing. And I can't say that that also isn't true, but you also have to realize that eliminating phones during school hours doesn't entirely prevent cyberbullying. Outside of school even, people might be posting other people online or harassing them. It does not stop in a school building. In conclusion, when we consider the role of phones in our education, it's best to look past the possible distractions and to instead focus on the opportunities that they might bring. Phones and personal devices should be accessible to students in the Centralia R6 district because they provide security, expand their access to educational resources, and give them social opportunities that may not otherwise be accessible. All of these are vital to a great education. Phones give a direct line of communication between students, teachers, and parents. This offers a peace of mind for everybody involved. We've discussed that personal devices can support education and learning in ways that school-issued devices may not be able to. And lastly, we discussed that personal devices allow students to directly collaborate, communicate, and build social skills that give academic and personal growth. Instead of simply viewing phones as a distraction, Centralia should consider how access to personal devices can empower students instead of limiting their education. When used correctly, a phone isn't just an obstacle to giving students an education, but it can also be the foundation for their success. Thank you.